Welcome inside Flagler Field on a beautiful February afternoon. It's clear skies and 61 degrees here in St. Augustine. I'm Mike Licio, your voice of the Flagler Saints. Glad to be back here for my fourth season as the voice of the Saints as we begin a season of Flagler College softball. Flagler was 18-8 last year, 2-0 in the Peach Belt Conference, coming off a sweep of a series against Aiken in which they only allowed 4 hits to the number 10 hitting team in the nation when the pandemic ground things to a halt. They'll look to pick up where they left off last year. We'll have some new faces and some new places and some old faces and some old places, and we'll get to some of those. Today they're hosting the Ursuline Arrows. The Arrows come from Pepper Pike, Ohio, where it's currently 35 degrees. Wasn't much warmer than that this morning, actually. We had some frost on the ground. It was 31 when I woke up. Getting ready to start here. We only have 1 game today. Saints will play 2 tomorrow. There'll be a total of 5 games tomorrow. Saints will play Valdosta State and at 10 o'clock. Ursuline will play Valdosta State at 12:30. Saints will play West Georgia at 3. Georgia Southwestern will play Ursuline at 5:30, and Georgia Southwestern will play West Georgia at 8. At least at this moment, schedules change and have been changing throughout the weekend, so that's what I have on the paper right now, so we'll go with it. Let's see if we can go through the starting lineups real quick here. We'll start with the visiting Ursuline Arrows. Sarah Fessler will lead off and play shortstop. Savannah Hicks will bat second in center field. Alyssa Verada batting third at first base. Maddie Fields will clean up at third. In the circle and batting fifth, Nicole Rawlings. Sixth in left field, Ashley Batal. Seventh behind the plate, Adriana Nickpon. Tara Backherms is the right fielder. She'll bat 8th, and Kat Ferretti bats 9th at second base. For the Saints, leading off will be Naja Gerald in her usual spot. Valerie Beltry will make her Saints debut in right field. Bella Munoz, the new shortstop replacing Rita Coppers, will be at second. Kylie Taylor cleaning up, the leading home run hitter in the Peach Belt, bats 4th. Morgan Murphy, who's going to be assaulting the Flagler record book this year, including many of her own sisters' plural record. She bats 5th at second base. Mackenzie Smith will be at 3rd. Alyssa Velez moves over to first base. She'll bat 7th. Paige Macedo, the sophomore, well, I guess technically still a freshman, if I understand how the eligibility continues. But in her second year, she'll be in left field. And Zoe Mooney will be the designated player and bat 9th in the circle. The always reliable, and in my opinion, one of the most underrated pitchers in the country, Kira Gibson. We'll get into just how dominant she has been, not only at Flagler, but not only in the Flagler record book, but in the Peach Belt Conference and in the nation. She's up there in the leaders in a lot of categories last year. And a big reason why the Saints were 31st in the nation in ERA out of 281 teams last year. So they're introducing the lineups right now. We'll have the Star Spangled Banner, and then we'll get to some softball and kick off the 2021 Flagler College softball season. Again, Mike Licio with you from Flagler College Field on a picture-perfect afternoon in St. Augustine. I'm sure once that sun gets behind the warehouse in the west, I'll be telling you how cold I am, but if you're coming back from the past and you've already listened to me, you already know that. So to my friends listening up in Ohio, I apologize in advance. So we'll be back in a moment with Flagler College softball here on the Saints Network.
Number 1, Jamie Greenwood. Number 3, Alex Zitola. Number 4, Tabitha Foreman. Number 5, Michelle Santiago. Number 10, Brandy Barquin. Number 11, Gracie Holland. Number 12, Mercedes Salinas. Number 14, Kirsty Granville. Number 15, Courtney Robinson. Number 16, Madeline Wise. Number 18, Alexis Rigel. Number 19, Mallory Sykes. Number 21, Lucy Gade. Number 23, Taylor Scott. Number 24, Hannah Dumovic. Number 36, Sydney Mathis. And now, here are today's starters for your Saints. Leading off, the center fielder, number 6, Naja Gerald. Batting second, the right fielder, number 0, Valerie Beltran. Batting third, the shortstop, number 2, Bella Munoz. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 77, Kylie Taylor. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 33, Morgan Murphy. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 32, Mackenzie Smith. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 9, Alyssa Velez. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 13, Paige Maceda. Batting ninth, the designated player, number 17, Zoe Mooney. And in the circle for the Saints is number 22, Kira Gibson. The head coach is Flagler College, Catherine Drew. She is assisted by Kaylee Allen. The athletic trainer is Ariel Ferrada. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, remove your caps to honor America and those who serve to protect her in the playing of our national anthem.
Mike Lishu back here with you at Flagler College Field, where the Saints are going to take on the Ursuline Arrows from Pepper Pike, Ohio. Not too far from Cleveland. Kira Gibson will be in the circle for the Saints. Kira was 11-4 last year with a 1.32 ERA. Struck out 63 in 90 innings. The best description I can give to you is she's kind of like Greg Maddox. Not overpowering, but she's got to hit her spot. She's going to make you hit the pitch you don't want to hit. And has great control and great movement on the ball as well. Kira was 4th in the Peach Belt in ERA, 8th in batting average against, 3rd in innings pitched, 6th in strikeouts, 3rd in wins, games started, completed. She led the league in complete games. In fact, she was 3rd in the nation in complete games and 3rd in shutouts in the Peach Belt. Nationally, she was 3rd in complete games. She was 4th in the nation in ERA among pitchers who pitched as many innings as she did. 22nd in shutouts and 8th in the country in wins. Sarah Fessler getting ready to step up. for the Arrows. She is a right-handed hitting shortstop. Sarah hit 208 last year. Arrows only played 8 games last year. They were 2-6 in the Great Midwest Conference. They did not get to play any conference games. They're coached by Sue Woodford. She's in her 12th season. She's won 126 games here at Ursuline and 164 overall. Kayla Gibson fires, and the 2021 season is underway as it just misses ball 1. First pitch at 4:06. On the inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Kira will use both sides of the plate. Kessler fouls that back off the screen. 1-2. Just underway here. On the corner, just misses. 2-2. The count is even. Now, I think Kira had some movement on the softball, but during the pandemic, while I was in lockdown, I went back and followed up some of the old games on my TV, and looking at them on TV, not only did I realize that I cannot see very well, but man, does her ball move. 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Kylie Taylor under it. She's got it. And one away for the Saints.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Savannah Hicks.
That brings up Savannah Hicks. Savannah transferred from Pasco Hernando State College. I'll give you her numbers from there in a moment. That's on the outside corner for a strike. She hit 408 with 1 home run and 21 RBIs in 38 games. That was back in 2019 at Pasco Hernando, over on the Gulf Coast across the state. Kira Gibson sets up outside. Taylor tried to frame it, but it was wide. Saints defense, Kylie Taylor behind the plate. Alyssa Velez at first. Morgan Murphy at second. Bella Munoz the shortstop. Mackenzie Smith at third. Gibson to the plate. Cut on and missed as she changes speeds. Paige Maceda in left field. Naja Gerald in center. Valerie Beltre in right field. Have to apologize. Last year, traditionally, I'll tell you after the pitch. On the outside corner, doesn't get the call. It's 2-2. I would traditionally introduce Natalie Murphy and her twin sister Morgan at second base in the USC Aiken game. I did flub that, and I do apologize to Natalie, who has graduated. Morgan back for one more turn. Fouled off. Count stays 2-2. Morgan is in the top 10 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different categories in school history. So she'll work her way to the top. As that misses, the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no score here in the first. Alyssa Barada on deck for the Arrows. Payoff pitch coming from Gibson. Cut on and missed. And that is 2 away. Strikeout number 1 for Kira Gibson. So that brings up Alyssa Barada. She hit 294 last year. No home runs and no RBIs in 17 at-bats for the right-handed hitting first baseman. Her first offering is an off-speed pitch. She's out in front of it. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out to the third hitter, Alyssa Barada. That one's low, 1-1. The righty deals, that one's low and in, 2-1. Kara Gibson with her 54th career appearance. That is 10th all-time. Fly ball, center field. Gerald over, she's got it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kara Gibson. No runs, no one left on. Saints come up for the first time in 2021 in just a moment. Saints lineup, Naja Gerald will lead off in center field. Valerie Beltre back second in right field. Bella Munoz, the third hitter at short. Kylie Taylor cleans up behind the plate. Morgan Murphy behind her at second. Mackenzie Smith, the sixth hitter at third. Alyssa Velez will bat seventh at first base. Paige Maceda, the eighth hitter in left field. Today's designated player batting for the pitcher, Kira Gibson, is Zoe Mooney. In the circle, Nicole Rawlings, who last pitched in 2019. She made 15 starts. She won 3 games. Struck out 86 in 101 innings for the Arrows. Naja Gerald will lead off. Naja hit .385 last year. That was good for 12th in the Peach Belt in batting average. She was 8th in hits. She got a hit in 7 of her last 10 games. Finished last year with no home runs and 7 RBIs. 449 on-base percentage for the left-handed hitting center fielder. The left-handed Rawlings offers, and it's on the corner for a strike. Rawlings and Savannah Hicks, the only two left-handed throwers and hitters on the Arrows. The 0-1, lefty on lefty. Chop to short. Picked up by Fessa. Stretched by Barada. Nice stretch, but Gerald uses her speed and legs out an infield single. And the Saints get their first hitter on board. Valerie Beltre comes up, making her Saints debut last year in high school. At Lake Brantley, she hit .474, no home runs, 4 RBIs. On-base percentage of .512 for the left-handed hitter. Just low, and it's a ball. Gerald, a threat to run. Naja was 5 for 6 on stolen base opportunities last year. Thought I saw somewhere that Beltre goes by the nickname Coco, but I'll have to confirm that. In her 10 games last year, she had 9 hits. Lefty Rawlings deals low and away. Gerald goes to second. She's in there easily. Naja Gerald with the first Saints stolen base of the year. And it's 2-0. There's no one out, and there's a runner in scoring position. Rawlings on 2-0. Upstairs. Beltray chases. Cuts on it and misses. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. No one out here in the bottom of the first. Slow roller. Berada feels it. Goes into first. Not in time. Beltray now caught in a rundown. Gerald's going to head for the plate and she's going to score. Beltray gets back. So that's a single. And Naja Gerald will score. From second base on about a 20-foot single. Berada fielding it to Ferretti. Beltray turned the corner. They went into the rundown and Gerald uses her speed to get home. And just like that, the Saints have their first lead of the season, and Bella Munoz steps in. Bella, a transfer from Sacramento City College in California, where she hit .392 with no home runs, 9 RBIs. I think the most impressive thing about Bella's numbers at Sacramento City College, 79 at-bats, 1 strikeout. So she's going to put the ball in play. 11 walks in 90 plate appearances, also excellent. Rawlings deals to her third straight left-handed hitter, and Munoz fouls it off. Munoz was rounding in the form herself at Sacramento City. She hit .440 over her last 7 games. Rawlings delivers, low and away. Beltray goes to second. She's going to get there. Beltray was 9 for 11 on stolen base attempts last year as a senior in high school. She's 1 for 1 this year. The Saints have now stolen 2 bases and have another run in scoring position with no one out. 1-1 pitch. Line. Ferretti can't handle it. That's going to get through. Going to the plate is Beltray, and she scores. Flagler with RBI, I believe. They do score out a hit. That's an RBI single for Bella Munoz. And the Saints lead 2-0. That brings up Kylie Taylor. Kylie, 320 last year. 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. Those 7 home runs, first in the Peach Belt, she takes one away. At one point last year, Kylie Taylor was the nation's leading home run hitter. Puts a charge into that one in left field. That's all for has it. And there's one away. And that brings up Morgan Murphy. Morgan, the last of the Murphy sisters to come through Flagler. Her twin sister Natalie graduated last year. I'm going by memory, so I apologize, Grandma, if I'm incorrect, but I believe Natalie graduated in 2017. Morgan's chasing a lot of their records. This is her 185th game. She takes one outside, which moves her in the 9th place in school history. By the end of the weekend, she'll have passed her sister Natalie if she starts every game, which she did last year, hitting .306, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Takes that one low and away, throw to first. And back is Munoz. Over the last 16 games last year, Morgan was hitting .356. Rawlings deals just outside. Counts 3-0. Mackenzie Smith on deck. Now That one's low, and it's a 4-pitch walk from Morgan Murphy. That brings out Mackenzie Smith. One of my favorite walk-up songs. For Mackenzie, hit 300 last year. She was 3 for 10 with an RBI. Munoz at second, Murphy at first. And that one's going to be a pass ball by the catcher, Nick Pond. And the runners advance. So now you have runners in scoring position with one out for Mackenzie Smith. That one down and away, 2-0. Still on the top of the first, 2-0 Saints lead. Munoz runner at third, Murphy at second. That one's low, and it's 3-0. Alyssa Velez awaits her turn. Mackenzie came to the plate in 6 games, got hits in 3 of them, and she takes that one, and she has a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded for Alyssa Velez.
Now batting first base, number 9, Alyssa Velez.
Alyssa Velez, last year, hit 222, no home runs, 7 RBIs. But over the last 5 games had improved to 250 on the batting average and had a 455 on base percentage. As Sue Woodford goes out to have a coach talk with her pitcher. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Munoz at third, Murphy at second, Smith at first. Alyssa Velez is coming to the plate. So the pass ball does no harm as the bases are loaded and the runners would have advanced on the walk. The lefty Rawlings, as the bases are loaded, 1 out. Right down the pipe for a strike. That one misses, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the first. That one's low, 2-1. To the right-hand hitter, Alyssa played third last year. She's moved over to first. Sky high pop-up. The shortstop Fessler over there to make the catch, and there's 2 away. And I'll bring up Paige Maceda. Paige, 182, 1 home run, 10 RBIs. She was 9th in the Peach Belt in plate appearances. 1st in sacrifice bunts, 1st in sacrifice flies in the conference. 8th in the nation in sacrifice bunts last year. And she knocks that one through the hole. Base hit. Nunez scores. Murphy scores. On the throw, Mercedes goes to second. It's going to be a 2-run single. And then she advances on the throw. And the Saints lead 4-0. Mackenzie Smith to third. Zoe Mooney comes up. Wheels. Hit 400 last year. 2 for 5. Lefty on lefty. That's down and in. Zoe started 2 games. She got a hit in both of them. That's what you like to see. And she gets that one fielded deep in the hole by Fessler, but nowhere to go. It's an infield single. A run scores. And the Saints have batted around. It's 5-0 as Naja Gerald will come up for the second time. Runners at the corners. That's Masada at third. Zoe Mooney at first. Naja Gerald singled, stole second, and scored on an infield single her first time up. Runner goes, fouled off. No, that hit Jones. So, Gerald on for the second time today, and the bases are loaded for Beltray. Beltray singled, stole second, scored. In the first. It's 5-0. Fly ball, center field, in on the hands that time to Beltray. Hicks has it. And the side is retired, but 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 3 left on. And the Saints, with a great start to the first inning of their season, lead 5-0. Maddie Fields, Nicole Rawlings, Ashley Butoff will bat this inning as Kira Gibson returns in the circle. The senior from Sorrento, Florida, previously of Seminole State. Before that, Mount Dora High School. Athletic Director Jed Damon's in attendance. I don't know if anybody told him, but my new contract calls for me to be paid by the pitch. Always got to read the fine print. Kira Gibson ready. Inside. On the corner. It's a strike. Maddie Fields is a freshman. I wasn't able to find her high school numbers. Lazy fly ball. Velez couldn't get a squeeze on her as she crashes into the net. Great effort there. And it's quickly 0-2. Outside, 1-2. She wastes one there. Kira Gibson is 5th in strikeouts. fourth in wins, second in shutouts, second in complete games, sixth in games started, 10th in appearances in school history. Slow roller. Smith dives for it. It gets through. That's going to be an infield single on the first Arrows hit of the season. Maddie Fields is aboard. That brings up Nicole Rawlings. We talked about her numbers in 2019 in the circle. She had no home runs, 14 RBIs, and hit 283 behind the plate. Outside, Taylor tries to frame it. Ball one. Upstairs, outside, 2-0. Kara Gibson was all PVC second team in 2019. She was 46-13 at Seminole State. She has 76 wins in her college career. Counts 3-0. On the inside corner for the strike. Snap throw to first. Back is Fields. Gotta watch out. Kylie Taylor led the Peach Belt in runners thrown out and pickoffs with 3. That one misses away. It's a 5-pitch walk, and it's first and second. So Butoff comes up. She was 1 for 18 last year. Catherine Gage going to set the defense with the double play in order. According to my schedule, this is the first of 3 games between the Arrows and the Saints. The other 2 will be played on Sunday. Butoff, no home runs, 3 RBIs in 8 games last year. Maddie Fields is the runner at second. Nicole Rawlings at first base. Ashley shows bunt. Pulls it back. Off-speed pitch at the knees for a strike. Kira's going to change location. She's going to change speeds. That's a fly ball to short. Munoz up with it. 1 away. That brings up Adriana Nickpon.
Now batting catcher number 14, Adriana Nickpon.
Only 6 at-bats last year for Adriana. He was a junior. Fly ball to right field, coming hard and getting there is Beltray. With the cannon to throw, a little too much harm on that one. Runners advance, nice job by Rawlings there. Excuse me, that was Fields testing the arm of Beltray, and I think we've seen that she has a cannon out there in right field. So that was a soft fly for Nickpon as the runners move up. But there's 2 away now as Backholmes comes up. Backholmes was 3 for 20 with 2 RBIs last year. Takes the ball. Fields is at third. Rawlings at second. 2 out here in the top of the second. Saints lead 5-0 here in the 2021 debut. And that snaps in. That was one of those pitches. I talk about the movement of Kieran Gibson. That started over the chalk of the batter's box and broke in over the corner of the plate. Nice little backdoor pitch there, 1-1. Back to the circle. Gibson up with it over to Velez. Side retired. So runners get in the scoring position, but Gibson gets herself out of a jam. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. Through 1.5, the Saints lead 5-0. Bottom of the second, Saints will send Bella Munoz, Kylie Taylor, and Morgan Murphy to the plate. After a 5-run first, I saw 11 Saints come up. Well, 9 Saints, and 2 of them batting twice. Naja Gerald and Valerie Beltray. Just waiting on Nick Pond. I believe she was come out, unless there's going to be a change here, maybe a substitution. We'll see what's going on here. Sue Woodford out there with the home plate umpire. So let's see, there's going to be a new catcher. And that is going to be Devin Peterson. Devin Peterson making her Arrows debut. Update the scorebook here. Rawlings is going to begin her second inning of work. Nicole is a sophomore from Hamilton, Ohio. Played at high school softball at Stephen T. Baden High School. And so, let's update the score right here. Peterson now the catcher. Bella Munoz steps in. Bella, you heard California love? She calls Sacramento, California home. We told you she transferred from Sacramento City College. Before that, she was at West Campus High School. While in the Warriors, she was a two-time All Golden Empire League All-Star. Two-time honorable mention All-Metro. And she was an honorable mention All Big 8 Conference at Sacramento City College last season. Bella singled and scored an RBI single in her first at bat. Rawlings ready now. Down and away on the outside corner. Good pitch. 1-1. There's a pitch cut on and missed. Strike two. Rawlings did not play last year. She had 86 strikeouts in 101 innings. Not sure if I ever introduced the Arrows defense. So behind the plate now is Devin Peterson. She replaced Adriana Nickpong. Alyssa Barada at first. Kat Ferretti at second. Slow roller to Ferretti. She tosses it over to Barada. One away. Sarah Fester with the shortstop. Maddie Fields at third. Ashley Butoff in left. Savannah Hicks in center. Tara Backholms in right. Nicole Rawlings in the circle. As Kylie Taylor steps in. Kylie. As that one's in the dirt. Kylie. Transferred from Florida Gulf Coast. Before that, she was a DeLand Bulldog. Congratulations to Kylie Taylor. She was named to the Daytona Beach News Journal's All-Decade Team. First team for Kylie Taylor. She has a ball there. It's 2-0. My friends down at the News Journal, Chris Boyle and Zach Dean putting that together. Down and in, the count is 3-0. Call it a hunch here. I think Taylor has the green light. Well, not on that one. And that is a walk for Taylor, and there's a runner on with one out. Brings out Morgan Murphy. Morgan calls Orlando home. Former East River Falcon. East River now coached by her older sister Maddie. Morgan is 9th in games played, 8th in at-bats, 10th in runs, 6th in hits, 4th in RBIs, 10th in doubles, 6th in home runs, 9th in extra base hits, 9th in triples, 6th in total bases, and 7th in strikeouts. But I didn't say that one very loud. As she takes the ball there, but Morgan all over the record book. Cut on and missed. That one gets away. Not sure if they'll score on a wild pitch. That's what I'm going to put it down as. For the pinch runner, Michelle Santiago. Michelle, a freshman from Liberty High School in Davenport. Outside. Davenport not too far away from a place where too much of my family and my money go, Disney World. Just an exit down the road. 2-1 to Morgan Murphy. At the letters high, 3-1 on deck, Mackenzie Smith. So Santiago at second, making her Saints debut. On the outside corner, good pitch there, the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Murphy at the plate. Santiago at second. Rawlings in the circle. Chopped hard to third. Fields checks the runner. Throws it to first. Beretta has it. And there's 2 away. Brings up Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie from Tarpon Springs. Went to Tarpon Springs Senior High School. 4-time All Pinellas County. While a sponger. That is their mascot. What's a sponger? According to Wikipedia, it's a diver in a full suit and a Mark V helmet. I'll take your word for it, Wikipedia. 1-0. Line drive. Carrying over the head. It's off the wall. Scoring from second will be Santiago. That's an RBI single for Maddie Smith, her first RBI of the season. Saints lead 6-0. Santiago scores after pinch running for Kylie Taylor. Alyssa Velez comes up. Alyssa, a redshirt freshman from Timber Creek High School in Orlando. Former Wolf. Well, Wolves. They're called the Wolves, so I guess that makes her a Wolf. She takes a strike, no balls, 1 strike, 2 out. She was a 2-time All-Metro selection, first team All-State as a junior. Takes 1 low. She was 7th in the Peach Belt in fielding last season. One pitch upstairs. 2-1. Smith the runner at first. Saints lead 6-0. On the outside corner, just misses. 3-1. Paige Maceda awaits her turn. In on the hands to center field. That ball is carrying to the track. It's off the wall. Velez with a stand-up double. Mackenzie Smith scores from first. Looked like she got jammed a little bit, but the ball is carrying. The wind is blowing out. That's going to be an RBI double for Alyssa Velez, and the Saints lead by a touchdown. 2 late appearances, 2 runs scored for Mackenzie Smith. As Paige Maceda comes up, she had a 2-run single her first time up. Paige, a freshman from Sun Lake High School, calls Lando Lakes home. Outside, throw over to second. Velez is back. Paige reached space in 4 of her last 6 games. Now 5 of the last 7 going back to last season. She takes a strike there, 1-1. First team all-conference selection at Sun Lake. Off-speed pitch. Crosses up Peterson. Velez will advance. That one I've got to put down as a pass ball. So now Velez at third with 2 out. With 1 out, you have the best sacrificer in the Peach Belt Conference and one of the best in the nation last year. With 2 out there, Maceda's going to have to get the ball in play. That's in play. That's out of play. That's a home run for Paige Maceda. And the Saints lead 9-0. Paige Masada. 2 for 2. Home run. 4 RBIs. This is why I get paid by the pitch, by the way. I said she needed to put the ball in play. Well, she put one out to the warehouse. The first time this year a save has gone yard. And it's 9-0 for Zoe Mooney. Ursuline's going to have some work to do if they want to make this more than a short afternoon. So it looks like there's going to be a pitching change. That'll be it for Rawlings. Pitches 1 2/3 inning, 8 runs, 8 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned. No strikeouts, 3 walks. To close out her day, she is the pitcher of record.
For the Arrows, number 21, Sarah Eshelman.
So Eshelman comes in. Sarah pitched 10 innings last year, struck out 4. Right-hander, transferred from Mercyhurst University in Powell, Ohio, is her home. She went to Powell High School, as a matter of fact, before Mercyhurst. So, if you're just joining us, Saints sent 11 hitters up in the first, scored 5. They've added 4 more here. 4 of the 9 runs scored today have come off the bat of Paige Masada, who hit her second college home run just a few moments ago. You know what you do when there's 2 out and you can't hit a sacrifice fly? You just hit the ball a little further and put it over the fence. And that's how you get RBIs. Paige Masada showing me just how easy this game can be sometimes. Thinking that she's going to probably just, try and hit a line drive, and she got a monster shot. Zoe Mooney slaps that one foul. Zoe from Morton, Illinois. Zoe shares a birthday with my all-time athletic hero, Patrick Ewing. Zoe went to Morton High School. Oh, 1. Eshelman up with it. No one covering first base. We're going to score that a hit, and Mooney is 2 for 2. Naja Joe comes up for the 3rd time today. Former University Titan back to the circle. No play. I think that's going to be an infield single, and Gerald is 2 for 2. So for the 2nd time today, the Saints are ball around as Val Beltre comes up. This is the fastest combination the Saints have on the base paths. At least players coming back. Beltre drops that down. Ferretti covering that time as Murata fires it to her. Score that. 3-4 on the putout, and the Saints are done for the inning, but not before scoring 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 left on, no errors. Excuse me, 1 error, of course. And we'll be back in a moment for the top of the 3rd. Kira Gibson, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Through 2 scoreless. Ferretti will lead off. She'll be followed by Fessler and Hicks. Ferretti takes one on the inside corner for a strike. Catwell Streeter, 2 for 16, no home runs, 1 RBI. Ready, she tried to hold up, she couldn't. It's 1-1. Kira Gibson, 63 strikeouts in 90 innings. Like I said, she doesn't, not a ton of strikeouts, but only 63 hits in 90 innings. It's 2-1. And back here, 87 base runners in 90 innings, less than a run an inning. Down and in, just misses. Scoreboard says 2-2. I think it's 3-1. I think it's 3-1, and Fessler's on deck. We'll see in a moment. Gibson deals. Fouled off. So there's 2 strikes. I'm not sure if there's 2 or 3 balls. I believe there's 3. There may only be 2. The scoreboard says 2. Fessler on deck. Line backhanded by Munoz with a throw. The Reds cannot hang on. There's a collision at first base. Let's hope Ferretti's okay. Looked like one of those Derek Jeter jump throws by Munoz. She made a great play in the hole on that one.
No, I'll do 7. And I'll give you guys
Ferretti walking it off.
You get 20 of it.
So that's going to be a base hit. And the leadoff runner for the second straight inning is aboard for the Arrows. They're checking her out. Coach says she's good to go, and that'll bring up Sarah Fessler. Sarah, a freshman from Magnificat High School. I'm hoping I'm saying that correct, in Cleveland.
Now batting for the Arrows, shortstop number 6, Sarah Fessler.
Fessler popped out to Taylor her first time up. Runner on now. Gibson goes to work. Off-speed pitch, low. 1-0. One-0 pitch. Drops a bunt. Gibson up with it. Fessler does her job good. Moves the runner over. 1-3 on the sacrifice. And there's a runner at second as Savannah Hicks comes up. Savannah struck out her first time up. Before Pasco Hernando State, she went to Bellevue High School. Calls Pasco, Florida home. Strike on the corner. Bellevue eliminated Pedro Menendez High School here in St. Augustine from the football playoffs. Year before last, I believe. Falcons have a new coach today. Cut on and missed, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The runner at second is Ferretti. Savannah Hicks at the plate. That one's in the dirt. Tyler covers it up. Runner advances to third, though. Nice job by Ferretti to get to third. And one out. The Arrows have a runner 60 feet from the plate. Gibson deals outside, 2-2. On the corner looking. Down goes Hicks for her second strikeout. There's that backdoor action on the breaking ball for Gibson. And there's 2 away. That's her second strikeout of the day. Brings up Alyssa Barada.
Let me know if you did. All right. I'll talk to you later. All right.
So I have that backwards. Alyssa's from Pasco, Hernando State transfer, and she is from Bellevue. So my apologies there. She played volleyball and basketball in addition to softball in high school, Alyssa did. She has, coming in today, has a hit in 4 of her last 6 games to finish last season. She's down 0-2 to Kira Gibson here. Check swing, that's going to throw around in right field. It's going to be an RBI single, a well-placed RBI single by Barada. And Ursuline is on the board. Someone's at Maddie Fields. She singled the first time up. The first hit of the game. Gibson's first offering on the corner for a strike. Taylor takes a look over. If you're on first base, you gotta stay alert. She erased 3 runners on the base path. That one through to Ricketts, though. That's gonna be a wild pitch on Gibson. That advances the runner, and now Barada is in scoring position. With 2 out. That's in for a strike. Nice pitch by Gibson. It's 1-2. Saints lead 9-1 here in the third. Here's the pitch. Puts a charge into that one, and that's fouled into the Saints bullpen. Just a little in front. For Fields, the freshman from Steubenville, Ohio, Steubenville High School. Cut on and missed. And the side is retired. Strikeout number 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Saints lead 9-1. Bottom of the third. Saints will send Munoz, Taylor, and Murphy up to start the inning just like they did the inning before. Sent 11 batters to the plate in the first, sent 9 to the plate in the second. Sarah Eshelman makes her begins her second inning of work for the Arrows. Munoz, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. She scored in the first, grounded to second her last time up. Up and in for a ball to start the third. Foul the other way with a little bit of backspin on it. The tail's foul. 1-1. Bella reached base 48% of the time for the Sacramento City Panthers last year. Shadow creeping over the infield. That's in the gap. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Munoz is 2 for 3. And that brings up Kylie Taylor. So the shadow just over the circle as the sun's starting to get down in the trees behind the warehouse. That one's down for a ball. Kylie flew out to left her first time up. Walked her second time up. Michelle Santiago pinch ran for her and scored. Just misses 2-0. Saints will be back at it at 10 a.m. Breakfast with Mike Licio tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll have the number 12 ranked Valdosta State Blazers. That's fouled back out of play. Two and one, Eshelman ready. Can of corn. Ferretti up with it. 2 away. Excuse me, 1 away. This is why you have a scorecard, is to try and avoid these things. Morgan Murphy comes up though. 0 for 1, she grounded to short her first time up. Takes a strike there. Walked and scored her first time up. Upstairs, nice snag that time by Peterson. Outside 2 and 1. That's a hard line drive by Morgan Murphy. She hit that on the squeeze for a base hit. It's first and second. That's 153rd career hit for Morgan Murphy. She's currently in 6th place. Garland Evans next on the list at 175. Mackenzie Smith steps in. She's reached base and scored both times that she's come up. She walked in the first, scored on a RBI single in the second. Takes a strike there. Munoz at second. Murphy at first. Mackenzie Smith at the plate. Eshelman in the circle. She fires to Devin Peterson outside. 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And on the hands, inside out swing to center field. That's going to be a base hit for Mackenzie Smith. She's 2 for 2. And the bases are loaded now. And we'll see Brandy Barkman for the first time. Brandy Barkman will pinch hit for the first, making her Saints debut. Brandy. From Lakeland, Florida, McKeel Academy of Technology, where she hit .435 last season. She comes up with the bases loaded and 1 out here. Just misses, ball 1. Munoz at third. Murphy at second. Smith at first. Barkman at the plate. It's 2-0. Brandy was all county. At McKeel, all Polk County, as that's fouled into the screen, 2-1. Was an all-conference honorable mention as a Wildcat. Back here, it's 2-1. That one misses, it's 3-1. Paige Maceda on deck. She homered her last time up. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Munoz will score. Murphy gets back at third. And the Saints have a 10-1 lead. Paige Maceda comes up. Paige, 2 for 2, a home run, a single, 4 RBIs. Maceda moved all around the lineup. She had 10 RBIs. Takes a strike there. So when she had the chance, she drove in some runs. In fact, that 10 RBIs is third among returning players. That's on the corner, and 2 quick ones from Eshelman, and Paige is down 0-2. Morgan Murphy at third, Mackenzie Smith at second, Brandy Barkman at first. Maceda at the plate as Eshelman fires. 3 quick ones on the corner, and Maceda goes down looking. And there's 2 away. That was Paige's struggle last year. She was third in strikeouts in the conference. Tabitha Foreman coming up. For Tabitha, I believe this is her first at bat as a Saint. I know Tabitha didn't bat last year at all. She 2 runs scored as a pinch runner. from Charlotte, North Carolina. Takes a strike there. Seems like that strike zone's expanded a little bit. Myers Park High School. For Tabitha, who comes up with the bases loaded and 2 out. On the corners, Eshelman has found her groove. She found that spot on the outside corner. Bases loaded, that one misses away. She raced one there, 1 and 2. Murphy at third, Smith at second, Berkman at first. Tabitha Foreman at the plate. Off-speed pitch. Tough play. Nice stretch by Dorada. After a good throw by Fessler. And the side is retired. What a play by Fessler in the hole. Just a laser to first base. Dorada doing her best to split. And the side is retired. So that inning, 1 run, 3 hits. 3 left on. And the Saints are up 10-1 as we go to the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th. Kira Gibson continues in the circle. 1 run on 2 hits. She struck out 3. She's walked none. Kylie Taylor re-enters the game. Hopefully, Coach Googe remembered to enter in the game. Kylie Taylor actually had a home run. She was called out because they forgot to re-enter her in the game. Paige Masada has re-entered the game in left field, although she never left. There's Alyssa Velez who re-enters at first. After Brandy Barkman's single, Kira will face Nicole Rawlings, Ashley Butoff, and Devin Peterson. Or at least that's who's scheduled to hit. Looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter. And that's going to be number 10, Kylie Gallagher, freshman from Columbus, Ohio. Pinch hitting for Rawlings. Gallagher takes a ball from Kira Gibson, the right-hander from Sorrento, Florida. That's on the inside corner, 1-1. The field pretty much in the shadows as the lights are coming on here. That's going to be in the hole for a base hit. And for the 3rd straight inning, a leadoff single for the Arrows, that time by Kylie Gallagher.
Now batting left field, number 28, Ashley Butoff.
Butoff comes up. Popped out to short her first time up. Ashley, a junior from LaGrange, Ohio. Went to Keystone High School. won a championship in high school in 2018. That one's upstairs for a ball. Tell you what though, once that sun gets behind the clouds and it cools off here in a hurry. One 0 pitch, fouled back off the screen, 1-1. Gallagher the runner at first. Gibson in the circle. 50-year senior deals. Shows butt in the dirt. Taylor could not locate it. And the runner's going to advance. Not sure how they'll score that. But the runner advances. Two balls, one strike. Utah up at the plate. Gallagher in scoring position, and that's fouled off the screen. Count evens, 2-2. Saints were 18-8 last year. Man, the table in Peach Belt players, they only played 2 games. A sweep against USC Aiken. Ursuline, due to the pandemic, never made it to conference play. On the inside corner, a beauty from Gibson, and down looking goes Utah. Strikeout number 4 for Kira. So Devin Peterson comes up. Peterson, freshman from Seven Hills, Ohio, Padua High School. Gallagher on second. That's upstairs for a ball. Kira would like to leave her there. Cut on and miss, 1-1. Peterson puts the foot in the bucket there. It's hard though, because Kira does change speeds so dramatically. Cut on and missed. Fastball that time, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gallagher the runner at second. Batter asks for time. Lights starting to come out. Sun behind the clouds. It was 61 when the game started. We're down to 57. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second. Top of the 4th. Gibson in the circle. She's ready. Taylor tried to frame that one, but the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. On deck. Backhands. Payoff pitch. Cut out and missed. Strikeout number 5 for Kira Gibson, and they're 2 away.
Now batting right field, number 3, Tara Beckers.
So Backhands comes up. Tara Rounded back to the pitcher her first time up. Fouls that back out of play. Towel from Newton Falls, Ohio. Went to Newton Falls High School. Looks like there's going to be a substitution. I think it's going to be a pinch runner. It's going to be Maddie Michalski. Maddie ended the year on a 2-game hitting streak last year. She's a junior from Temescal Canyon High School in Lake Elsinore, California. Did not attempt a stolen base last year. She's the runner at second. Gibson to the plate to backhands. Nice block by Kylie Taylor. 1-1. Here's the pitch. On the corner. 0-2. 4 of the last 6 batters to come up have been struck out by Kira Gibson. She has 5 in the game. Line drive to Smith. She's up with it. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We are through 3.5. Saints lead 10-1. A new pitcher. It's going to be Marcella McMahon. I don't have any pitching numbers for Marcella. I should have any numbers because I didn't have her high school numbers because she is a freshman. She's from Grafton High School in Grafton, Ohio, making her Arrows debut here in the the bottom of the 4th. Saints will go back to the top of the order. Gerald, Beltray, and Munoz. So I didn't get to say it because she was up and on base so quickly her last time up. Naja Gerald is a junior from Orange City University High School. She was a Titan. Played basketball there as well. I told this story before, but it's been a year, so I thought I could tell it again. I talked to our high school basketball coach, Sam Story, at a game last year, and he said, you know, Naja always said softball was her priority, but, you know, Naja was definitely somebody you always wanted around on the court and in the locker room. Just takes a strike there. Yeah, he pointed out that when he took over, and actually University, I believe, just finished their first winning season in basketball. And he said that a lot of the groundwork for that basketball program was laid by leaders like Naja, who are leading his team. So, some good things there. We got a pause in action. Naja was All-Area News Journal as a junior. She led it in basketball. She's also been a member of the PBC Presidential Honor Roll and been a Presidential Scholar for the PBC. So there continues to be discussion. Guess the umpire kind of explaining something to McMahon. So 1-0 Naja Jail, we're back to action. Naja took over in center field for Brian Evans. One of the great leadoff hitters in the history of this program. Probably the greatest. So there's big shoes to fill for Naja, and she's filled them nicely. Hit .385 last year. Finished off 2019 strong. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Naja Jail, and she's on for the third time today. Brings up Valerie Beltray. So Naja Jail finished 2019 strong. The Saints finished 2019 strong. This is my fourth year. Catherine Gage's fourth year. Her first year here, the bats were electric, but the pitching was inconsistent. The second year, as that's upstairs, nice snag by Peterson. That one was tall. Second year, Saints were one of the best pitching teams in the country, but really struggled at bat. I believe they were in the 250s in hitting in 2019, and then last year, it all started to come together. And then the pandemic happened. That's a strike as Beltray waves and misses. 10-1, the Saints lead here. In the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Line drive single. Beltray, the first second hit. It's the 14th Saints hit of the day. Jamie Greenwood's going to come up now. Jamie, the junior from Park Vista Community High School, Boynton Beach, down in Palm Beach County. Jamie had 2 runs scored as a pinch runner last year. Getting her first at bat since 2019. Takes a ball. Jamie was first team all-conference as a Cobra. The Cobras went to the regional final all 4 years she was at Park Vista. And that's a base hit for Jamie Greenwood, and the bases are loaded now for Kylie Taylor. Oh, this is not what you want. You got the bases loaded. You got no one out. You got Kylie Taylor, who is first in the Peach Belt in home runs. 19th in the NCAA. You'll see tomorrow morning 2 of the leaders in home runs in the nation that were ahead of Kylie. Big swing there. Strike one. Kylie was the player of the year at the News Journal. First Saint to wear 77. Hits that one into the gap. It gets past the left fielder. That's going to clear him. It's a 3-run double for Kylie Taylor. And the Saints lead 13-1. So a 3-run double for Kylie Taylor. That gets past the new left fielder, Jackie Vallejo. She was playing up a little bit, but that ball was on her in such a hurry. It was a hard hit ball. And the Saints lead 13-1. Brings up Morgan Murphy. Morgan 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Line off the screen, third base side foul. Saints were 26-27 Catherine Hughes' first season, 31-23 her second, 18-8 last year. Just misses, 1-1. Taylor, the lone runner on base now. She's on second. Slow roller to short. Checks the runner over to first in time. Kessler with a bullet there. And there's one away. Gonna have a pinch hitter for the Saints. Lucy Geibig's going to be the pinch hitter. Lucy, a freshman from Lake City, Columbia High School, home of former St. Great Tatum Morgan. She had 520 at Lake City last year at Columbia for the Tigers. Grounded to third, up with it, over to third. Throw gets away. Taylor's not going anywhere. That was Fields over to Beretta. And there are 2 away. Alyssa Velez is up. She is 1 for 2 with an RBI double today. Kylie Taylor on third with 2 out. McMahon deals. Breaking ball dips a little too low, 1-0. Gracie Holland on deck. Velez goes the other way. That's an RBI single. And it's 14-1. Alyssa now with 2 RBIs. As Gracie Holland comes up. Gracie is a freshman from Camden, South Carolina. Rudolph Elgin High School. I know you folks listening in Ohio don't want to hear about the temp dropping. But it's getting cold out here. Florida cold, I guess. That's in for, oh no, that looked like a good pitch. Might have been a makeup call there, 1-1. My blood is definitely thinned out from my New York days. That's a sky-high pop-up. No problem for Barada. And the side is retired. Not before the Saints add 4 more runs, and 3 more hits. And the Arrows will come up to try and extend this game. Saints lead 14-1 going to the 5th. Sydney Mathis comes in for the Saints. Sydney making her debut last year, 0-1 with a 3.62 ERA. Struck out 10 and 19 in the third. Transfer from Tallahassee Community College. Before that, she was a Northside Patriot in Columbus, Georgia. She'll face Ferretti, Fessler, and Hicks this inning. Sydney won 13 games at Tallahassee Community College. Had some problems with run support. Only 3 of those wins were in games where she allowed 2 runs or more, so when she had her support, she was definitely tough to beat.
Batting for the Arrows, second base number 16, Kat Ferretti.
Sydney, the first batter to wear first player to wear 36 in Saints history. Ferretti comes up. Kat from Brunswick, Ohio. She's a junior. Went to Brunswick High School. Kat singled and scored her first time up. In for a strike for Sydney Mathis. Never talk about the white uniforms, how they're my favorite. Although I hear the Saints have a new jersey going to unveil this weekend that's even better than these, if you can imagine. That's inside for a ball. That's a beautiful pitch from Mathis for strike 2. Sydney struggled with control last year. Had 22 walks in 19 innings. That one just low, 2-2. But when Sydney's dialed in, she's tough to beat. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ferretti. Ferretti was first team All-County at Brunswick. That's foul. Diving play attempt by Kylie Taylor. So that gives me some more time to talk about Ferretti. Again, she was first team All-County. She was second team All-District. Maybe make sure my lines are even on my note card this time. 2-2. In for a strike down, looking good as Ferretti. She knew she missed her pitch there. Run away, and Sydney with her first strikeout of the season.
Now batting for the Air.
Sarah Fessler comes up.
Number 6, Sarah Fessler.
Fessler takes that one low. Sarah comes from the land, Cleveland. Takes that one inside. 2-0 to Fessler. Fessler started all 8 games last year for the Arrows. Breaking ball misses away. It's 3-0. Savannah Hicks on deck. Looks like she'll be pinch hit for, though. Emily Schrader now in the on-deck circle. Shows bunt, pulls away, taking all the way, and it's 3-1. Saints lead 14-1 here in the 5th. Gets the corner there, the count is full. Payoff pitch coming from Mathis. Sid fires on the corner, strike 3 looking. Back to back, backwards carries in your scorebook if you're scoring at home. And that's going to bring up Emily Schrader. She's a freshman from Melbourne, Florida, Melbourne High School.
Correction, number 12, Emily Schrader.
If you're not from these parts, Melbourne's about an hour and a half down the road, not too far from the Kennedy Space Center. Takes a ball there. Emily had 545 at Melbourne last year for the Bulldogs. 2 home runs, 11 RBI. Emily slugged .818. I see why there. She got a hold of that one, puts it into the Saints bullpen. Saints lead 14-1 in the top of the 5th. And what may be the Arrows' last out. On the corner, 1-2. Sydney has hit her spots so far this inning. Bases are empty. Schrader at the plate. Mathis in the circle. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball off speed high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's 2-2. Foul back off the screen. We'll do it again. "34 degrees currently in Pepper Pike, so what I'm about to say, we are down to about 55 here. Mathis and Taylor trying to get on the same page, trying to close this inning out. Alyssa Morano. Like one more chance. Good cut by Schroeder, but foul. Kira Gibson in line for her 31st win. That's 2 behind Ali Marcano for 3rd place. Cut out and missed. And that, I believe, is the ball game. We'll find out. And that is the ball game. Striking out the side for Mathis. St. Celine, 14-1. They improved to 1-0. Ursuline goes to 1-0. Or 0-1. Nicole Rawlings takes the loss. Kira Gibson with her 31st career win goes to 1-0. Saints back at it. Bright and early. Valdosta State will play the Saints at 10. Ursuline will be back at 12:30. Then West Georgia will play the Saints at 3. Ursuline will play Georgia Southwestern at 5:30. And then Georgia Southwestern and West Georgia will play at 8 tomorrow. So a full day of softball. I'll be back with you bright and early. This is Mike Licio signing off. Once again, the final, the Saints 14, the Arrows 1. Saints are 1-0 on the season. This is Mike Licio thanking you for listening on the Saints Athletic Network.